Hi, welcome to the Investment Blueprint. I'm your host, Raghu Kumar from Rain Platforms. The Investment Blueprint is a podcast where I interview traders, investors, quants, and finance professionals in the space of retail trading and investing with the goal of helping pass on their knowledge to you. Before I get to today's interview, I want you to spend just a minute and check out TradingRooms. TradingRooms is our new product from Rain Platforms. TradingRooms is basically India's first fully automated social investing product. On TradingRooms, we are solving two major pain points associated with DIY trading. Namely, trading is very difficult and it's very lonely. On TradingRooms, you can discover expert traders like Surajit and either follow them casually, or you can become paying members and subscribe to their trading rooms. When you do so, trade signals disseminated by the room owners will be taken on your brokerage account in a fully automated manner. You can also chat with room owners real time throughout the day. TradingRooms is essentially a social network for trading and investing. So TradingRooms can be accessed at www.tradingrooms.in. Today, I interview Surajit Chatterjee from DTM Algo. DTM Algo is a provider of fully automated trading strategies, which are scientifically backed. We recently partnered with DTM Algo for TradingRooms. 4 of their strategies can be accessed right now on TradingRooms. And what we like about their strategies is that they are not just fully automated, but the DTM team is also very well versed in trading, as evidenced by Surajit himself. Surajit started trading a few years ago. For the longest time, he associated trading with gambling. After he made the switch, he hasn't looked back. After he started DTM, he has gained a reputation in this space as being very well versed with algorithmic trading. And DTM not only has an excellent track record, but also a great reputation for really knowing their stuff with algo trading. Today, we discuss Surajit's story, how he got into trading, and his future plans for DTM. So, Surajit, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Raghu. Thanks for having me in this podcast. It's really a pleasure to be part of this podcast. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Yeah. So I thought we could start with just your general, basic background. I alluded to the fact that, you thought trading was gambling for a long time. So did I. I think a lot of traders actually, fall into that trap. So how did you kind of get the conviction to make that switch, and what was your whole story like?
All right. So I'll start from the little earlier of my life. Okay. So I
Sure.
belong to I grew up in a small town in West Bengal where there was no. I never knew during my school days what is called stock market. No idea. There was nothing that I could aware of. But after my JE, when I came and joined in my engineering college, then few of my friends used to talk about stock market. So I came to know that there is something called stock market where buys and sales happens. But it is better to stay away from stock market because it's kind of a gambling. So that's how I came to know about stock market during my college days, and then I tried to avoid stock market from that day itself because that's the kind of concept that most of the middle class society has. And so I was not interested towards the stock market because I knew that most of people loses money in joining stock market. So I was focusing on my jobs and things like that, continued the journey like that way only. And I was always try I always tried to do something of my own. I mean, instead of doing 9 to 6 jobs, I wanted to do something else. I mean, be it some startup of my own or some passive income, generating some passive income or something of that sort. Actually, that I was looking for. I always interested to. So I used to interact with my friends to what can be done, what we can do. Then we started with one of my friend. I started doing. What do you call e-commerce business, which actually didn't work out because of lack of fund and things like that. We couldn't approach any big investors, so we couldn't continue there. We keep discussing with my friend, and then we thought of doing something else. Then he told me that let's do one thing. Why you are not trying to enter into stock market? I was
Mhm.
talking about, now I'm talking about year 2016.
Yeah.
So that point in time, he told me, why you are not planning to enter into stock market? Because I am into stock market and it is good. Then I said, how come it is good? Yeah, I mean, this is something which I always aware. I mean, I'm known that this is something where everybody loses money. Almost everyone loses money. Then he
Right.
said, it is not that everyone loses money. There are people who are making money. Then he gave
Sure.
me some examples like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So I was not
Yeah.
aware of the name itself. In
Okay.
2016,
Wow.
I didn't know who is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Okay. Then I
Okay. Yeah.
started Googling about him,
Yeah.
started looking into different YouTubes, different forums, different online materials to know who is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So I knew only one thing. If one individual can make money, then why not I?
Sure.
That was actually in my mind. I can
Yeah.
I might not be making the amount of money that he is making, but at least a fraction of it I can make, right? So
Sure.
that's actually came into my mind. And
Yeah.
this friend of mine, who is eventually a co-founder of DTM Algo,
Okay.
yeah. So he is a option seller. He is option seller for quite some time,
Hmm.
and I know him. I believe in him, and he told me, boss, I am making money consistently for last 10 years. So
Sure.
when he is telling me that, yeah, this is something which he is doing consistently and he is earning money, then I believe that there is a way to earn money from stock
Yeah.
market. It is not
Yeah.
only gambling. Okay.
Sure.
Then I started learning what is options, what is call, what is put, when to buy, when to sell, and things like that. Started learning. And after learning for a few months, then I started my stock market journey by short selling.
Okay.
Yeah. I
And
start
what year was this?
Yeah. So I was always a bull. I
Yeah.
always a bull person. So I used to
Yeah.
short naked positions, naked put positions. So that's how I started my journey. It was good. I was earning a moderate amount. It was going well. There was no problem for 5 6 months. It went quite well. But
Sure.
that is the first time when I opened my Demat account.
Hmm.
So some interesting stories happens when you open a
Okay.
new Demat account. So I
Yeah.
opened a new Demat account. Then after a few months, I keep receiving calls from different advising companies from
Sure.
India. Okay, because they
Yeah.
probably collect some data points from different brokers and
Yeah.
all, and that's how they started keep calling me.
Hmm.
And by calling me, they used to tell me, sir, this is I mean, whether you are interested for trading, we can help you to make more money and things like that.
Yeah.
So as I was earning a decent amount with a few months of knowledge, maybe I studied for 6 7 months and then started trading. So I thought, if someone who has got expertise, okay, they are authorized by SEBI. So I believe that they should have more knowledge than me. So why not I can
Sure.
take some advantage of those knowledgeable individuals or knowledgeable
Yeah.
companies for
Yeah.
trading. So I opted for one of their advices,
Sure.
and that is the biggest blunder of my life that I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and with their help, I lost almost 50 to 60% of my fund during that time. Yeah, so that is the
So
blunder that
so
I've
so
done.
what year was this? And how did you kind of like why did you kind of move away from just trading on your own to, opting into an advisory service?
It is a good question. So
Yeah.
as I was earning, it is purely because of greed, I should say,
Okay.
because I was earning decent around that point in time with an investment of roughly around 15 16 lakhs. I was earning roughly around 1 lakh a month of my own.
Hmm.
Okay. So I thought, if someone can help me to earn more with specialized
Hmm.
services, then why not? Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what actually was going behind the back of my mind.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's why I opt for that service. And within a month, it was with no time. Within a month, I lost almost 50 to 60% of my fund.
50%. Wow. Wow. So this was in 2017 or
This
18?
was in
Which year was this?
2017. This was in
17. Okay. Got
2017,
it. Got it.
early 2017.
Got it. So at this time, you had not started DTM Algo.
No,
right? Okay. So you went through the trading experience and then you went through this whole thing, right?
Yes.
And then what? So now were you still convinced that the markets could work in your favor?
Well, the best part was that I, by myself, after learning about strategies, about how option works, I was convinced that I can earn because I earned for quite some time. I
Sure.
earned
Yeah.
some amount of fun for quite some time.
Yeah.
Now, but I was shaky because I have lost a
Mm-hmm.
huge fund.
Yeah.
That's what I was shaky. And so then what I did is I stopped trading for some time,
Mm-hmm.
but I continued my learning journey. I continued to learn and continued to learn. And it is not that completely stopped. After 3 4 months, again I had started, but very small small amount. So I
Got it.
continued, and I continued my learning journey. And slowly I formed Daily Trade Mantra.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is our parent website, Daily Trade
Mm-hmm.
Mantra.
Mm-hmm.
And the objective behind creating Daily Trade Mantra is to bring awareness among retail traders what to do and what not to do. That
Sure.
is the main objective. And we also had our YouTube channel called Daily Trade Mantra at that point in time.
Got it.
Yeah, but which is no more available because it has been hacked by someone. We had a good
Oh
amount
no.
of subscribers. It has been hacked, so it is no more in
Okay.
existence right now. But
Okay.
yeah, so now after going through that phase, when I learned something of my own, I started working on creating my strategies of my own. Then
Mm-hmm.
it was late 2017, but
Mm-hmm.
it was none of them are automated.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not automated strategies, but strategies based on which we can take buy sell positions.
So were you trading full time at this time, or were
No,
you also
no.
holding down a job? Okay.
Yes. No, not a full
Okay.
time. Not a full time.
Okay. So
I
you
was
were
holding to a
okay.
job.
So you had a full time job and you were trading
Yes,
on the side. Got it.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Right.
Got it.
So that's how I continued there, and then we used to, I mean, whatever we are learning and experiencing, we used to share those information with our subscribers in the YouTube channel. So that's how our that journey continued, and then
Sure.
slowly, those strategies which we are making at that point in time, those are working, but those
Yeah.
are kind of discretionary, I should say, because
Okay.
based on certain conditions we are entering and based on certain conditions we are exiting. So it is not
Right.
that it is always, I mean, we can't really judge because we cannot backtest the strategies. We are
Mm-hmm.
backtesting based on the chart for maybe couple of months, few months, but not beyond that. And those are
Okay.
based on not the data points, but on manually. I should say we are
Mm-hmm.
backtesting those strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly we thought, then as we are from IT background, then why not we will try to automate the strategies.
Sure.
Meanwhile, okay, one thing I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when I lost that significant amount of money, I was
Right.
looking for. I was going through different forums, different materials. So I came to know that systematic trading is something which can make you afloat in the stock market because it has got some system. If you build the system well, then you can definitely earn something. Something
Sure.
may Someone may earn more, someone may earn less, but at least you can be afloat and you will not lose your entire fund, but earn money. So I was
Sure.
looking for a good algorithmic trading service provider in India, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Tried to search for it. I, I got a couple of algorithmic trading service provider, but I was not convinced with the way that they are approaching us because the main person behind that services is never in front of me. I cannot.
Right.
They are not approachable. I can talk to them. I don't really know what exactly the strategy does. There are some front end executives who are communicating with us, and they are actually managing my portfolio. They will be managing my
Sure.
portfolio. So that's the
Yeah.
kind of setup that I got at that point in time.
And maybe the fact that you went through that whole episode with that advisory service, right? Maybe that kind of, you didn't want to repeat that mistake, right? A second time.
Absolutely,
So maybe in the back of
absolutely.
your mind, you're going to be more careful with picking a service
Absolutely.
provider, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
So that's why I could not opt for any algo service provider. And
Hmm.
so these are actually some parallel activities that's going on. I was learning. I was trying to build my own system, failing, miserably failing, again trying to build something. So it was continuing. Same time I'm trying to identify if there is a good algo service provider who can help me to overcome the losses that I have done in past.
Sure.
So it was a parallel activity that was going on. And then
Got it.
we decided that so if we are really focusing on doing something in this space, then why can't we try to build our own algo systems instead of depending on someone? Why can't we build our own system?
Sure.
And then the journey of building our automated system is actually taking place.
So that's when he started. Got it. Got
That
it.
yes.
So a couple things I just want to mention really quickly here, right? In a lot of the interviews that I've conducted with other traders, this seems to be a common pattern, where traders go through these kind of episodes where they lose a lot of money, right? In a short amount of time, whether it's through trading or buying, a bad course or whatever it is, they go through these kind of major obstacles, right? And they still stay with trading, right? And then they focus on education, so they focus on learning, and they focus on just being smarter, right? Um, so these are kind of common traits that I've kind of found amongst other traders. Um, so I'm guessing at that point in time, you probably started DTM Algo around that time, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Got it.
That
Got it.
that that's true.
So when you started DTM, did you have those strategies already built, or was that going to be something you were going to do after you started the company?
No, when we have launched daily trade mantra, then we do
Hmm.
not have the strategies of our own.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
Got
on
it.
that point in time, what we have done is we have built a screener for intraday traders based
Hmm.
on which they can take some positions. The screener used to have the required data for intraday as well as positional trading, which we have, and at the same time we also used to generate few signals, buy sell
Hmm.
signals for intraday label on equity, and we used to post that through that was also automated, but the execution portion was not automated. Only the
Got it.
analysis
Got it.
was automated. So that is the kind
Got it.
of
Got it.
first product that we have launched when we have started daily trade mantra. So
Got it.
nothing automated, only the
Got it.
screener part.
Got it. And then when you launched DTM, was this in 2018?
No, DTM Algo we have launched in 2020.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very new. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
And so when you launched DTM, what were some of the, early kind of challenges that you faced when you launched it?
Right. So talking about strategy creation, right?
Yeah.
Automated strategy
Yeah.
creation. That is the toughest part. That is the toughest
Right.
part. Initial days when we have started developing the strategies, then we used to get. I mean, the kind of profits that we are used to get on those strategies are phenomenal. So we are overjoyed with the return by looking into the return.
Right.
But
Right.
eventually, when we started doing deep dive on those strategies, then we understood that these are completely no, unrealistic strategies that we are making. Okay,
Like, what is it about the whole situation that's not realistic?
right. So whenever we're trying to design any strategy, yeah. So there are a couple of things which we should always remember or need to be in our mind. One thing is we should focus on the brokerage that needs to be considered. Which if we do
Hmm.
not consider the brokerage, then the strategy, any profitable strategy can be converted into a loss making strategy while
Right.
doing the actual execution. Second thing is the slippage, which we do not consider. If we do not consider slippage, then there is a high probability a profitable strategy can go into a loss making strategy. Third
Sure.
thing is the risk and reward ratio. If the
Hmm.
risk reward is not in our favor, if at least 1 is to 2, 1 is to 3, 1 is to 4, the higher the risk and reward, the better it is to design the strategy. So these are the major three important parameters which we have to remember, or which we have to be, very strict about while designing any strategy. Initial days, it was we were not doing that because we are just focusing on building a strategy which should work.
Hmm.
So we used to get a very good amount of profits in this, but there were multiple trades that used to happen during a day. And when we started including those brokerage part of it, then actually it became a loss-making ones.
Yeah.
So, and that went for quite some time. I mean,
Wow.
frankly speaking, building a strategy is not a joke. At least for us, it
Yeah.
took a long time to build our first strategy.
Sure.
So
No, so in my situation, the same exact thing happened when I first started trading. Algorithmically, I still remember my first system. It was a technical analysis system, on the spot forex markets, and I remember I spent a lot of time building it. It looked great on paper, um, and then I started trading it live, right? And my fills were very good, and yet I had not accounted for brokerage
uh-huh.
and slippage, and so when you account for those things, it can just completely change the entire strategy overnight, right? So you guys basically went through that, and then what did you do? Did you adapt and build a new system? And also, what were your systems kind of based around at that point in time?
Yeah.
The
So
basic ideas.
yeah. So our main focus was to build something for intraday traders. That's our main focus,
Mm-hmm.
because I have when I was talking about the experience that I had when I lost 60% of my fund,
Yeah.
because I was trading on futures, mainly on futures, and those were overnight positions. And so it went completely. I mean, if it goes in your favor, then you can make money, but if it goes against your favor, then you will absolutely lose money. So
Sure.
that's why that's the reason we thought of building something which is not overnight position.
Got it.
Whatever you will trade, those should get ended by 3:30 within the day, so you don't have to carry the tension overnight. Yeah. So that's what
Got
that
it.
was our focus, and it is believe me, this is the most toughest part that we have seen. I mean, building something for intraday trading is the toughest thing that we have faced. Yeah.
Is it because of the fact that you're paying brokerage on both sides and all that? Like, what is it about intraday which is so difficult?
Not really about the brokerage here, but
Okay.
building something to gain some profit. Because whenever we are building a strategy that should bring us more risk versus reward as well, we have to limit
Mm-hmm.
the risks. At the same time, we have to gain more profit. So balancing that actually was a little tough, because when we do some positional algos, you have time. You can give a stop loss, maybe 20%, 10%, 15% stop loss, and you can hold on to that profit for quite some time. If market
Right.
will go in your favor for quite some, your span, your working span is little higher. In positional trading, it can go in months, you can go in weeks, months, but for intraday you have a very limited span, few
Sure.
hours span you have. So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
whatever you will be designing, that has to have something to do with those few hours time. So that's the most toughest part while designing an intraday algo.
Sure. How do you guys generally think about risk management? Right. So I know the strategies you've listed on TradingRooms. They include trailing stop losses and things like that, right? Just generally, what are the major principles when it comes to risk management at DTM Algo?
Right. So risk management, I consider risk management as kind of restricting my losses to a significant extent. So that's the reason we have strict stop loss against all the strategies. Number one. Number two is, as we have rightly mentioned, that all our strategies have a trailing stop loss as well. So that is again help us to somehow gain a little bit of profit if the strategy is favoring us, if the market is favoring us, because most of our strategies are trend following strategies. If you
Mm-hmm.
see, our strategies are momentum based. All those strategies are trend following ones. So if the trend is in our favor, we try to limit our losses. First of that is the first step, and then increase the stop losses, so that we can at least book few percentage of profit at some point in time. So
Got it.
that is again our second level of security that we
Sure.
focus on. And
Got
yeah,
it.
so that is pretty much about risk management that we are talking about here.
Sure, sure. Now, obviously, in the past like year and a half, right? The global markets have seen a lot of changes, due to COVID and other things like that, mostly due to COVID, right? How has the emergence of COVID and just the extreme volatility and fluctuations in the market, how has that affected your trading at DTM Algo, if anything?
Right. So that is a very good question actually, because
Okay,
during COVID, and COVID has helped us in DTM Algo, because am I saying that? Due to COVID, we have got more participation in algo trading. If I'm not wrong, because what happened, during COVID session, I was just going through a few of the data points. So what happened is, after COVID scenario, roughly around 1 million, 1.2 million of new demat accounts have been created in
that's right.
India. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that is an indication that because the market was going down, more people were interested to buy at a lower price, and that's why they have entered into the market. And moreover, people have more time to trade because of work from home
Because
kind
they're
of a
at home.
situation.
Exactly. That's a major reason as well. Exactly. Yeah.
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 So during that phase, maybe early 2000, 2020, during April, May, there was not much of an increase in algo trading, but slowly during the second half of 2020, when the kind of lockdown was kind of getting a little relaxed, yeah. So people used to again start working, start going out from home and start joining their jobs. So that point in time, probably the interest towards algo trading got more. I mean,
Has gone up. Yep.
yes.
Yep.
So that has helped us in some way. And moreover, what I believe is the new generation is probably more keen towards algo trading nowadays,
Sure.
and that's another big positive side that I should say for algo traders and algo trading service providers.
Sure. So let's talk about algo trading, just generally, the entire space, right? Obviously, there's been a lot of news about algo trading, but just generally, what are the benefits of algorithmic trading, right? If you had to kind of just, talk about just generally about algorithmic trading and the pros of it, right? What are the benefits that algorithmic trading brings to the trader?
Right. See, the best benefit of algorithmic trading is this is a systematic trading.
Sure.
The system on which you are investing, you know the system. It has been historically proven. It has been back tested, backed by the data, and that data is not of a few months or few weeks data. It is few years data based on which. So that system has ran on different market scenarios. It is not only designed for a specific scenario, but it has ran on different scenarios. So that gives a kind of confidence on the trader when they choose the system, that
Right.
system has faced different scenarios, that definitely it might work in the future also. However,
Sure.
as a strategy designer, we cannot really guarantee that it will
Of
keep
course.
in future also. It will continue to do the same performance, but at
Right.
least we can have some kind of satisfaction that if it has worked well, so it might be working the similar, or giving me the similar kind of returns. That is one point.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, any system when we are designing, it has got a strict stop loss, and which is the very very important parameters, or important thing that you have to remember as a trader when we are trying to trade on anything, that we should
That's
have a
right.
strict stop loss.
Yeah.
Otherwise, our money can go away. With no time, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So so we have got a strict stop loss. That is again important thing that has to be in mind.
Yeah.
And third thing is the risk and reward ratio. If the risk and reward ratio is not in our favor, then the strategy might not work for us. And
Sure.
when we with due respect to all the discretionary traders, the successful ones I'm not talking about, but in general, what most of the people does, they try to copy some other discretionary trader and try to trade on those kind of strategies, or maybe the similar way, without knowing the actual approach of discretionary trading. And
Hmm.
human psychology, even for us also, I mean, when we were designing different algos and we were running them for the first time, initial days,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
used to book profits very early, even
Yeah.
though even though the system was not allowing us to book the profits, but we used to book profit because in past we saw that there was few losses that we have incurred.
Right.
So I used to book profit early, though system was not allowing us to book profits. So that is the human psychology. And the
Sure.
same and the same thing
Yeah.
happens when you do a discretionary trading and without proper experience. So
Sure, because
what we do
emotions
is
get in the way, right? The emotions get in the way, and the
absolutely.
emotions, we always want to trust the emotion, but the reality is, you should trust the system over your emotions, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and
Yeah.
that's where we go wrong, because
Right.
in doing discretionary trading, probably at times we increase our stop losses and decrease our targets, and that's where we go wrong. It will completely go against us, and we will
Sure.
never ever be on the, I mean, in the winning track.
Yeah.
But that's completely different in algo trading. Just believe in the system. Your system is giving whatever your system is telling you, just believe in that and continue to trade. And
Yeah.
as you have a proven system, so it will definitely help you to gain some profit at the end of the day.
Yeah, a couple things I'll just add to that. One benefit you probably didn't talk about is the fact that you save all that time, right? So you can spend
Yes,
that time doing other things. You can review your system, and or you can do something else. You can read a book. One of the major things about trading, is the fact that you have to keep your mind sharp, right? Um, I interviewed um, I interviewed one trader, and he told me how recently he started playing an instrument, right, just so that he can keep his mind sharp, right? And he's also an algorithmic trader. Just the having the time to read books or learn instruments or languages, you can only do that by having that time, right? So algorithmic trading gives you that time. And second thing I'll add to that is you have to review your systems. It's not like you're just saying, I'm going to close my eyes, subscribe to something, and then, go on a vacation for like 5 years. It doesn't work like that, right? Like you have to keep reviewing your system, but you can spend time reviewing that system because you have that time now, right? So I think that's one of the major benefits, right, of algorithmic trading.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
Um, so another question I have for you, Surajit, right? Since you guys are now also like a service provider, right? When it comes to newcomers who are looking to subscribe to an algorithm, whether it's by DTM Algo or just
Mhm.
anybody else, right? How should they kind of navigate that question? What are some things they should look for, considerations and things like that?
Right, right. Yeah. So whenever any newcomer wants to choose any algorithmic trading strategy bot, yeah. So what they should mainly focus on how the strategy. I mean, this is very very important. I mean, because choosing is important. Why am I saying is, I have seen that in many cases people just see by looking at the profits that one strategy is making for a couple of weeks or couple of months, they just jump onto the strategy, and then after a few losses they just walk away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to avoid that kind of a scenario, it is very very important, when you are joining into any algo bot, when you are subscribing to any algo bot, first you should check whether the algo bot has what is the kind of performance that algo bot has, first of all, in long term, not only short term but in long term, how old the bot is running in the live market. Not only about the historical data is very very important, because that gives you a confidence that different market scenarios how it worked. Secondly, for how long it is running in live market. And in live market, after excluding brokerage and slippage, what is the return that the strategy is generating on a daily basis. Thirdly, what is the drawdown that the strategy has, and during the drawdown phase, whether the kind, I mean, whoever is investing into the strategy, whether he or she can survive with the fund or with the investment based on the drawdown that strategy has. If the drawdown phase they can survive, profit we all love to make. But the important thing is during drawdown whether we will be shaky and or will quit the algo or not. So that
Yeah.
those are few important parameters that you should look for. And specific to strategy also, you have, if you know the live market trades, analyze the data, if possible collect the data from the service providers if you want to deep dive. And if the service provider is unable to share the data or maybe not comfortable to share the data, then you have to maybe you can think twice before opting for the strategy, because sharing the data should not be a concern for any algo service provider if they have the proper data. So, but due diligence is very very important
Sure.
before subscribing to the strategy. Once you subscribe to the strategy, stick to it. Maybe
Hmm.
in small numbers, but stick to the strategy. Don't go away from the strategy. Don't stop subscribing it, because algo trading is not a money making machine. It will not
Yeah.
make you a millionaire overnight. This is a
Yeah.
slow process. This is a
And it
slow
shouldn't.
process.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's supposed to be slow. Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and you have to face. I mean, this is not a smooth journey either. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you have to face many hurdles. You have to overcome many hurdles, and then only you can face the benefit of algo trading. So just stick to the, once you deploy the strategy, stick to it. And for longer time, maybe 6 months, a year, and then you can reap the benefit. Because what we have seen in our strategies, I mean, for specific to our strategies, in a month or in a quarter, if we have losses, a single day might be a good enough day, because our strategies are trend following ones. These are not
Hmm.
short, or I mean straddles or strangles. Our main strategies are. So a good trend following day can bring us in good positive return, and wipe out all the losses that we have experienced for last maybe 2.5 or 3 months. So, and if we miss that single day, you have a bad experience of the strategy. I mean, suppose we are trading
Yeah.
for 2 months and we have
All right.
lost my trades, and single day profit, I lost it, and so I couldn't really gain the actual benefit of the strategy. So keeping that in mind, my request would be, do your all due diligence before you join the strategy. Get all the data points, collect all the data points, do all the analysis, talk to the strategy service provider, discuss with him or them whatever information that you need, get all clarifications done, and then you join the strategy, and then continue to do that. I mean, continue to follow it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
quit.
No, so what I really like about that answer, it's a very comprehensive answer, and it's true because the end user does have to do a little bit of work, right? They and this is how it should be, right? It's there is no free lunch, right? As they say, right? You need to do a little bit of research, do the due diligence into the service provider, into the strategy, make sure everything kind of checks out, make sure you're comfortable with the drawdown, like you said, and make sure this is the right system for you, right? Because different systems have different risk reward ratios, right? If you want to be making money more consistently, then maybe that specific strategy is not for you, because maybe on that one day, your broker's RMS is not functioning, right? For whatever reason,
Yeah.
right? So if that is a risk you have to also kind of think about, right? So yeah, it's a really good answer. Finally, Surajit, this is my last question, which I ask, every guest on every interview. What are your goals for the next 5-10 years, and what are your goals for DTM Algo for the next 5-10 years?
All right. So the goal is actually kind of a generic goal, I should say, for all of us. All of us, meaning all algo service providers or who love doing algo trading, is to uh, spread the awareness of algo trading. Because we know that most of the traders loses money because of unknown. I mean, because they are not aware what needs to be done, how to do trading. And that's the main problem, main challenge that we all face. So spreading awareness of algo trading, how it can benefit us, how it can benefit our retail traders. That is the main objective of that we have. And the more this awareness can be shared or spread across the trading community, I believe more and more algo tradings, more and more traders will be joining us as algo trader, and that will in turn help all of us to grow. It is not only about DTM Algo, but all the algo service providers in India. Because currently, if we see that very minimum, maybe 0.5, 0.05%, if I am not wrong, that's the kind of number that we are talking about, considering the entire trading community, right? So they do algo trading. So this number needs to increase. If retail trader need to really earn from stock market, then algo trading is the solution, I believe. And considering the way technology is advancing, so algo trading is going to be the future of trading in India. And keeping that in mind, DTM Algo will always be there to help. And it is not about thinking what we will achieve in 5-10 years, because we will achieve only if Indian retail traders achieve something. Yeah, because this is a mutual
Sure.
beneficial
Exactly.
space. Yeah. So if we can
Yep.
help them to earn, then only we can grow.
Sure.
So that's what we also believe. We keep working on our strategies on a regular basis. We keep observing if there is a probability, if there is a possibility to improvise the strategies. And we are also working on entering into crypto space in crypto algos.
Nice.
So that is our next what do you call it? Step towards extending our horizon. And yeah, so that is pretty much about DTM Algo as of now, and our
Amazing.
future plans.
Amazing. Amazing. So we will obviously include all the information on DTM Algo in the description, the show notes. That was an amazing interview, Surajit. I think algorithmic trading is here to stay. I think, this is a one directional play, right? We can expect at some point in time in the future for at the retail level, a higher percentage of turnover to be done by algo than non-algo, right? That's going to happen. It's a one directional play. So thank you so much, and I'm sure the listeners are going to love the interview today.
Thanks, Raghu. Thanks for having me once again. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thanks. Bye bye.